broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
But first, let me take a selfie.
Hey guys, it's the after show for the Librarians. We're taking selfies up in this club. Welcome to AfterBuzz. If you have not already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. We're also on iTunes and SoundCloud. I really want to dance. Is that bad?
No.
Let me introduce my wonderful panel. Who's joining me? Alexis is in the house.
Hey, everybody. You can find me where all Alexis Torres are sold at Torres890. Just for you, yeah.
Thanks. And Sam Davidson.
Hey guys, you can find me, Sam Davidson, at SamD43 on Twitter and Instagram.
And Tari J is not feeling well. Boo-hoo, Tari J.
Boo-hoo! Party pooper.
Yeah, seriously. Loser. JK, feel better. Also, you guys can find me online at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. Let's jump into this episode. Okay, so I know we have some Dorian Gray fans in the house. Both of you?
Oh
Yeah.
my god, we were just talking about this,
Okay,
actually.
why
so
do you both love Dorian Gray
I'm gonna
so
let
much?
Sam go first because mine's a little bit depressing. So go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm so excited.
I think mine is too. I've always loved old characters that are obsessed with themselves that end up like dying or becoming eternally young. I mean, I love vampires.
Right.
So in a sense, it's
right.
that. And also, I worked at a TV lit agency about 6 months ago, and Dorian Gray scripts off the chain. Everyone's writing about Dorian Gray, so watch out. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Dorian Gray TV show somehow themed after it.
Isn't there a Dorian Gray TV show, or am I losing my mind?
You're losing your mind.
Okay.
You're thinking of Penny Dreadful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen in the booth.
Yeah, no. That's why I was like, oh, Stephen chimes in. I didn't know if you were finished or not.
Yeah.
Let's get depressing.
Okay, so a few things, because a lot of people were like, I don't understand why you were getting emotional during this episode. It doesn't seem like one of those episodes. So my mom is a very narcissistic person. So growing up, I was taught that image was everything. So I always had to, wear makeup and have to have a certain presence. And I had to wear certain things. And I was a tomboy growing up. So I was just like, no, jeans and sneakers, that's how I roll. So when I learned about Dorian Gray, my mom thought it was like the coolest thing ever, and I was just like, I feel like it's kind of terrible and I kind of hate it. And she's like, no, he's got the right idea. And I was like, okay. So I just kind of grew up with that, and every time I think about how like his life was and how he was just using other people's sins and whatever to make him beautiful, it just reminds me of my mom. I love you, but that's what it felt like, and that's what my mom always wanted, was to me to put my sins into a photo and to be beautiful all the time.
Disgustingly beautiful.
gosh.
Yeah, no, like
Really?
that's why I said I was crying, because I was like, because Baird's trying to find herself, and I'm still trying to do that.
Wow.
And so it hit me at a whole different level. So.
Wow. Well, I didn't realize that I was a Dorian Gray fan, but I'm a narcissist, so I really related to that.
That's good.
I don't think you're a narcissist.
I don't think you're a
though.
narcissist.
You all
either.
don't know me well enough.
Would you literally die because you loved yourself so much, like to fall into a pile of water, a body of water? That's what I mean. You have to love yourself that much, and you love other people.
Yeah, because didn't he?
I do love other people, but I also love myself so much.
I do too. It's okay.
I'm
no
the
shame.
best. Anyway,
See, I'm like the total opposite. I'm like, no.
you're the best.
You really are the
thanks,
best.
guys.
All right, this is off topic.
All right.
Because we're not talking about me. All right, let's.
I want to talk about how beautiful our ladies were this episode.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Baird?
Like,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. I always point out, it's Rebecca Romaine. She's always gorgeous.
Yeah.
No, she like.
This is my favorite look Baird has ever
I
had.
want her to wear it all the time.
Yeah. Well, Cassandra even said, she's like, you look like a model.
Well, she was a model. Her hair was on point. The makeup was
love the
sexy.
collar that
the
she
collar
had.
was great. I also, of course, everyone who knows me knows, loved the cleavage.
It was on point. I was just like,
nicely
whoa,
done.
jiggly bits. Sorry. I apologize.
All girl panel, and we love the titties.
Sorry, Tari. You're missing out.
All right, so let's talk about Club Effigy, because the story is complicated and wonderful, but let's talk about the club. Effigy.
That was a terrible looking club. Sorry, I'm just gonna point that out
Yeah.
there. I was like,
it's not the kind of club that we would go to. It's the club that the people who went would go to.
yeah, it makes a lot of
Underground.
sense. Yeah.
Underground,
but
totally above
just
Didn't
ground.
even have a basement.
Douchey.
Super
Yeah.
trendy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know people could take that many selfies in one sitting, because like when they entered the club, it was just them just taking selfies the whole time that they were out in that lobby.
When was the
waiting
last
area.
time you were at a club?
I haven't been to a club in
what the
forever.
line is.
Really?
I mean, I don't
No.
go to clubs. I drive by and go, loser.
Yeah,
Because I'm picking up my Chinese and going to watch Doctor.
Yeah. I usually
Yeah.
get delivery, so I don't even
Yeah.
get to drive.
No, there's
that.
certain food I have to drive for because it's that good. But no, I last time I went to a club was in Vegas, and most of the time it was mostly girls getting in and guys just standing there being like, oh, I just
Which
wanna
is
get inside.
similar to this one, right? We have two of our ladies walk in, and poor Stone. I love when he says, like, the Cowboy Club is down the street, and he goes, "There's nothing about this that says cowboy," and I was like, everything about
But
that.
you, it's
You have
cowboy-
the like
the straps.
it's the harness and the vest. I'm like, yeah, you're plowing a field, sir. Like,
He wishes he was plowing a field anyway.
wishes-
Guys,
something
someone
else.
just commented on the chat roll. I'm not sure if it's someone that's on the set, but it seems like he said, you should have seen the before pictures for that club set. It was like a dangerous old warehouse.
what is the name of this
LMAO.
person?
Let's see. Mere Pandas.
Ah, I don't know who that is.
I love that. I think
Well,
that's great.
That's
Send
so
us the
cool.
before and afters.
Yeah,
Yes.
tell us more about this,
I want you
Mere
to tweet
Pandas.
me the things.
Actually, come on the show soon. That would be awesome.
Well, so he then Stone gets into a discussion about American writers and
I
poets.
loved this dialogue. I know that you, as a person who's like, I don't read, I don't know what's going on.
Well,
I was just like, I
okay.
knew most of these.
So you know how I don't read?
Yeah.
There was a quote in this episode that I was like, oh, I know who wrote that quote. But I didn't realize that the person who said that quote or wrote that quote, wherever it came from, happened to be the writer of Dorian Gray.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Guys, just so we're clear, if you don't understand what I'm saying is I didn't know that Oscar Wilde wrote Dorian Gray.
yeah, it was
I
a bit
love
of a
you
like
so
a,
much
a
right now.
skip,
I don't read.
I know. That's why I think it was funny.
brain
But
skip.
I do know that it's one of my favorite quotes, and I
Yeah.
know it's Oscar Wilde. The only way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it.
Yep.
Obviously, it's one of my favorite.
Yeah,
quotes.
it's such a Yale quote. It's not even funny. It's beautiful.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, that's an Oscar Wilde quote. That's silly that's in there. Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did later.
SMH.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about Oscar Wilde and his friend Dorian, who is real and not a fictional.
Okay.
Super hot.
This point.
Yeah, he's a little young.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, that hasn't hit Yale's age line yet.
And he
but-
won't.
No, he won't. He's gonna be a pretty
Ever.
face, like ever, forever. But no, I don't remember or I don't recall if they actually said that Dorian Gray was actually a real character. If they're just doing that
Yeah.
for the show.
Oh.
I would love for someone to clarify that. For
Oh,
me.
like in the real world?
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that it's not. I'm just
No.
saying. I thought he was I thought he was basing like the name Dorian Gray off
on
of
a
like
friend of his.
on a friend of his, and
I
just
see.
made it that way. Maybe it was a very vain friend or something.
Well, so we get the story that Dorian Gray and Basil Hallward, who paints Dorian, are real people. They're Oscar Wilde's friends, and this is my favorite part is he's Oscar Wilde's best friend. Well, more than friends. What are you trying to say, Jenkins?
Stone was like, more than friends. Okay.
like I wrote that with exclamation points.
Jenkins is coming out of the library.
Okay, I was like, where are you going
Where?
with that?
Where is he coming out of? Yeah, there were a few things that were said this episode.
Jenkins is gay. Can we not say that?
I mean,
I thought he goes both ways.
I thought he's just fluid like Cassandra.
Oh yeah, maybe.
No, I think Jenkins is gay.
Interesting.
That would make. I can see that. I can jump on that boat.
That just makes me sad about the part where they're
Lord
like,
mercy.
"Oh, you're her sugar daddy," and he goes, "I am no one's daddy, sugar or otherwise."
I love that line.
I wrote it down.
That was my favorite.
Because my favorite part is that Cassandra is like, Jenkins, and I was like, "That's right, Big Daddy."
Yeah, exactly.
Last week's Big Daddy.
I tweeted at Lindy that I was just like, yeah, you're an adorable drunk because I am the same exact way. I like my voice goes like 10 octaves higher and I'm just like giddy and laughing the whole time and skipping around. It's kind of terrible and terrifying. What?
I liked her drunk. It was adorable.
Yeah,
She's
that's what I'm
just
saying.
adorable at all times. However, this time she wasn't really useful.
No.
Ooh, she tried though.
She really did when she was making her photo timeline and then
Purple
the
rhinos.
Yeah.
Well, at the end she put it together.
Right. Once she was sober.
Yeah, she had the
Exactly.
fastest hangover. Poor thing.
Oh, that hangover. Was,
She ran so fast.
I liked the their puking was too quiet.
Ooh, oh, I was like, no, let's keep it that way.
It was too, because it was like silent and then the sound of something hitting, like liquid hitting the ground, and then it was just like ugh, and I was like, wait, we all have been there and it's a lot louder than that.
But she probably turned the water on, you know?
No, she was
right
She was
there.
right there next to. Never mind.
Gross.
I
Anyway.
loved her cuddling with Ezekiel. She was
Oh,
like, no.
yeah, I started to ship them at that moment, but then again, she's good with anyone.
Yeah.
No, Stone.
Oh, my mistake. My
Yes.
mistake.
Don't ever do that again.
Stone's mine.
No, she should be.
No,
with
Stone is with Cassandra.
But
Cassandra's with Lucky Lucy.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh, no.
No. Anywho.
All right, so we again get our focus, power, and effect. So at first we believe the focus are the images, and then we think it's the painting, and then we turn out that he figured out how to make it modern.
I liked that they decided to go digital with that.
Oh, absolutely.
It made
So cool.
so much sense, and I was like, I like this. I want this to continue. Besides
Yeah.
him, being evil.
Yeah. Well, because the story in itself, and a lot of stories that they do are so ancient. It's like tearing through the picture with a knife. How lame. I love to see, and it reminds me of the Truman Show in a way. You know how
okay.
the Truman Show had all those photos like on the promos for the movie and everything. It's just a bunch of little pictures of everybody, and it's fascinating because in a way that character is absorbing everyone that came, and it's this digital devil.
Yeah, no, I liked that.
I really liked it too. I like the idea. I love when stories are modernized because it just makes it more fun. Because it makes it relatable for us kids.
Yeah, I mean, God. I really liked that, and I also just like that it wasn't like smack you in the face with modern stuff. It was gradual. It's like, okay, we all know that we all love to take selfies, but take it to a higher level of just killing people with it, kind of.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy.
It's kind of like he turned everyone's narcissism on themselves, which is amazing. He even says, that at the club, people are there looking at themselves because they get more pleasure from seeing themselves having fun rather than actually feeling it.
Which is crazy because I didn't think about that because I haven't been to a club in forever, which makes me feel old, I guess, for some reason. And just like actually thinking about it, I was like, oh yeah, they're mostly either like taking pictures and or just kind of looking around and standing around.
Well, I mean, that's everyone keeps saying that's kind of what's happening to our generation. I went to my high school reunion recently, and I came home. My parents were like, oh, where are the pictures? And I was like, you know what? No one pulled out their phone.
Wow.
And like it was a mind-blowing thing that phones were not pulled out.
Because
to
you
take
guys
photos.
had so much fun.
I mean, I guess we were talking.
Yeah, that's
Like
what
with-
we're supposed to
with
do.
our words.
Yes, with words and handshakes
Yeah,
and
it was
hopefully hugs. I don't
hugs.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently that's still possible.
I mean, no. I mean, that's what I do anytime I go out to a bar with the group of friends of mine. We always put our phones in the middle, and we don't touch them, like at all. And then whoever does decide to touch them, they have to pay for the tab.
Oh.
So it
It's
keeps
a
us.
commercial for vodka.
Yeah. Well.
Stole that idea.
Yeah. I don't know.
I believe it's Kettle One, Grey Goose? One of those.
One of those.
Vodka.
One of those vodka.
So anyway, so the focus is the mosaic, and it's in the cloud. I love that it's in the cloud.
I love how you just thought how marvelous it was.
No, screw that. What I liked about it was the idea that, like, because they're like, we have to get rid of this this item. We have to, they're used to tangible objects. But it's in the cloud. How does it even work?
I know, and like the modern day devil, like that's just, I mean, Dorian Gray, what have you, he loves the cloud.
Yeah.
The
I know.
devil loves the cloud.
Yeah, because you can't really get to it. So.
But you can.
It's
as
modern magic.
All
Yeah.
of the naked celebrity scandals have shown us.
Yeah, they get into the cloud.
Yeah,
Why you
they
don't
all
send
get
it to the cloud.
leaks from the
Yeah.
cloud.
Yeah, no.
It has to rain
you
every
delete
once in a
them.
while, you know?
It's beautiful. It's nicely put.
Thank you.
That was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life. I almost teared up.
That said, that's why you don't let your naked photos go to the cloud. You keep them near you at all times.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Get rid of them, guys.
Snapchat.
Snapchat them. I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah,
all right.
no, Snapchat them. It's just 24 hours.
So we discuss our power, and at first we think it's rage and resentment, but no, vanity is the power, which, I'm going to be honest, I have a lot of power.
Good for you.
And our effect are the mishaps, but then we are figuring out that everyone's suffering for other people's bad behavior, and they're paying for sins that they don't have. Ugh,
That's not
beautiful.
fair, though.
Well,
no, it's not beautiful.
Beautiful.
I'd be
Yeah, I don't
really
think it's
pissed
beautiful.
if I had to pay for a sin that I did not commit.
I'd be really amused if you had to pay for my sins.
Okay, new reality show. Let's do it.
I just think
I would love this.
Lord of mercy. I just found it really interesting how people say that, like, yeah, it's not fair that they have to pay for the sins of one man, but it's kind of, I took it in as if they're already doing the sin to a point, shouldn't they suffer anyway? Kind of thing. Like, that's what I thought Dorian Gray was thinking of, because he was talking about how they would rather look at themselves on a screen.
Right.
So
So they're paying for their vanity with his drug addiction?
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, most of them wasn't just drug addiction, like the fact that he walked in front of a car and some other girl just got hit by it. Like, that kind of stuff. So
Wasn't she taking pictures of her friends?
Yes, she was.
Even if you're taking pictures of yourself, you shouldn't die.
No, of course not. I'm just saying that's what I thought that he was thinking of.
Oh,
was
that
the
like
fact
he
that
justified it
he's
himself.
justifying it himself as they're already doing the sin. I'm just paying,
Making them pay for
Yeah.
just in a higher
Yeah.
payment.
Yeah.
Interest.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the word I was going for.
Excellent. What does the chat roll say?
I like, what is that?
All fear the cloud.
Yeah, I love it.
Cloud
The cloud
is
is evil.
LOL.
Well, I mean, we have a possible. I love it when Baird is like, the camera, is it magic or is it evil?
I love how she just like tosses it to
Yeah.
him. He's like, no, and he's like, neither.
Yeah, well, there was a couple times in this episode when they were like, is this magic or like, are we just super messed up? Like, it was kind of, no one really knew.
Yeah.
Which
Which is kinda-
happens every weekend for
Yeah.
me. Magic or am I drunk? I'm just not sure.
What's in that cup?
Yeah,
You're
I'm a
You're
witch.
paying for your own sins. Girl, you're paying for your own
What I'm
sins.
saying. Also, I don't know what's in her cup, guys, but
I
it's looking
do.
pretty fruit. What?
I poured it in there.
Okay.
Remember
Vitamin
the vodka
water, guys.
It's okay.
commercial?
Mine's like straight up vodka, so it's all good.
We know. We heard your story.
Oh.
Anyway, I really like this story. I really like the way they resolve it. I love the idea that they so because the person who's getting injured is the last person whose photo was taken and sent to the cloud and added to the mosaic, they replace Cassandra with Baird, and then they figure out the solution, which is they're gonna make Baird's face with his
I
images.
did not see that coming.
Me neither.
When they told Ezekiel to sit there and find pictures of him through street cameras and stuff like that, I thought they were just going to replace all of the
Right.
pictures with just him. But I was like, I feel like that's not going to be enough, but I don't know at all.
I thought it was going to be that as well. I mean, they obviously wanted us to think that, and
Yeah.
I thought it would. I thought that was the plan, and that would work, and I would have been totally satisfied with that.
Yeah. But instead,
Mir Pandas, again, the genius that has worked on the show apparently, said, I thought Dorian Gray hurt people because he was jealous they could feel.
that was going to be my next thing, because we were
Right.
getting into that, and I loved how that's his driving force, of the fact that he cannot feel anything, but it doesn't matter because he knows that he's pretty and he can live forever. So I was like, whoa.
So he's not just a narcissist.
Yeah.
He's a sociopath.
There you go. That's the correct
You know, I
term.
think a
Oh my
lot of
God, guys, I'm Dorian Gray.
No, you're not. Get out of here. You know you like to feel.
I do love to
There you
feel.
go.
this girl, Yael, has one of the biggest hearts ever. Come on.
Not what I thought she was going to say.
I was expecting it to go a totally different way,
Go
but I'm
on.
really glad.
and other things. But with that being said, biggest hearts, and you are not a sociopath. Yes, you have 2 of them, as do I.
Me too.
This is a loving panel.
But moving on, I like that was the fact of, even though he couldn't fully admit it, that was what was the driving force to lead him into this kind of madness, which I thought was really crazy. And I'm just like, hey, Mom. Again, I love you.
Wow, this was real intense for you.
It was like, I'm glad that no one was paying attention to me when I was watching this, because I actually started to like well up, because I was just like, this is why my mom and I cannot get along, is because she sees me in a totally different light that I can't get out of that image for her.
I love you.
Oh, thank you.
We all do.
So yeah, so it was just it that is why it was. And again, after the talk of when Bear jumps off the roof, I was like, oh, okay, that was not what I was expecting.
Jumps off like a badass.
And she, like, I'm assuming she lands on her feet. I don't really know.
So my assumption on it, because she's standing up and the way she's standing, the way she's angry, and like that was not a good plan, was that she landed on her feet and then he died and she could feel the pain of landing on her feet.
Ow, ow. And she was wearing those heels too, so I was like, ow, ow,
She
my
looked
knees,
so
ow.
good.
She looked so good. I loved every time when she fell and she had leather pants on, I was like, girl.
I did notice that as well, because she kept falling on her face.
Yep. And they always had the angle from, so it was great.
So we're giving props to the costume department and to the camera people.
Yeah, just
Like, this is a good shot. We should shoot from here.
and I was like, yes, Alexis approves this message. But no, and then of course after the fact that I love that Dorian Gray brought up that, oh, you're a guardian, that's all you are, you're just that one word, you're the guardian. And I was like,
No one cares about you.
yeah.
And we will talk about identity and the librarians and whatever in a minute.
Yes.
But I want to take a moment to thank our fans.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. Thank you for joining us for this late night discussion of the Librarians, talking about and the image of Image, if you didn't know that already. But we have some iTunes reviews. That's right. We ask you to do a very simple thing for us. Go to iTunes, hit subscribe so you don't miss a single episode, because we don't want you to miss it. It's every Monday right here on AfterBuzz at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you like us and leave us a rating and a review, we'll read it live on the air. If you like us, that is 5 stars. If you don't like us, that is 4 stars. And the other stars don't work.
Whoops.
Thanks, guys. The other stars don't work.
Sorry.
I have 2 reviews.
Ooh, yay!
Maybe if you guys chanted, we would have more. Okay.
Next time, I swear.
Lies. All right. So we have from Automated Joy, 5 stars.
Yay!
Her title is also 5 stars. Exclamation point. Really enjoying this energetic discussion panel for a fun and addicting TV show that I started watching by accident as a thing to pass the time on a treadmill.
I would not be able to do that.
I would sit down on the treadmill and keep watching. That said, that's how I would get to the treadmill. I'd be like, oh, a seat. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
With a
know what?
TV attached.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it tomorrow.
Sitting on a treadmill?
No, I'm not gonna sit. I'm gonna go on the treadmill and watch the Librarian.
I see.
I can't do it.
I totally thought you meant like, I'm going to sit on a
I
treadmill.
would want you to take a picture of me sitting on the treadmill and
I
watching.
was once at a gym and this child was on the bicycle because it had a TV attached watching cartoons. He wasn't biking, he was watching cartoons. I was like, damn it, he's on my seat.
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
All right, there's more to this review. Now I can't get enough! Exclamation point.
Yay.
Loved John Delancey in last week's episode, but betting we haven't seen the last of him, no writer could pass up the opportunity of him saying, I'm immortal again. Right? There's a nerdy reference for you. Do you guys know what reference that is?
It sounds familiar, but my brain is not working right
I
now.
don't know, so please tell us what reference this is. If Tari was here,
He would know.
He would be like,
He
that's
would-
clearly from blah, blah, blah. I'm a nerd. And I would go, I'm not nerdy enough and I'm sad. Anyway, thank you for a chance to hear some friendly fan personing. It's called fangirling. Boys or girls, all we do is fangirl.
Yep, no, that's it.
News and speculations on the Librarians. Great review. Thanks, Automated Joy. We have another review.
Yay!
Cascadel is awesome. Cascadel.
Cassandra?
No, I think it's I'm trying to figure out what ship name that is.
Cascadel.
But it's not like Cass, like from Castiel. It's not Cassandra. It's with a K.
Okay.
Huh. I don't know.
I want to know what ship name this is. Anyway, Cascadel.
in the chat.
Cascade
Cascade.
is awesome. Cascade.
Oh, wait.
Oh, is it Cassandra and Kane?
No.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Nope.
I'm confused.
Cascade. I know Christian Kane. I was thinking the same thing, but it's not Cade. Interesting.
Hmm.
I want to know it. All right. Cascade is awesome. 5 stars. Cassandra is bae. Love that.
Well, duh.
Love the podcast. The panel is great and contributes so much to the discussion. Awesome. To make the discussion awesome. I can't read, guys.
This is why she
Cassandra
doesn't
made me laugh when she called Jenkins Big Daddy this episode. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Every time.
It'll be interesting to see how this dynamic will change after seeing how both Cassandra and Jenkins have had a few tiffs regarding how magic should be handled. Absolutely. Also, would love to see how they develop Ezekiel after the episode where Stone told him he was becoming a good guy. Which takes us straight into my next topic.
Yes.
Ezekiel leaves us this itty bitty tidbit that I think is not a throwaway line.
Okay.
The eye scanner in the art gallery, he says people are always trying to hack it to make the thing read their eye, but I just put my eye, like my retinal scan, into the system so that it will always recognize me.
Huh.
He says, like, I have a back door into, X amount of art galleries all over the world. I think that's going to play into something.
Yeah, and they might have to use that.
Because that's like
point.
That's a huge thing, right? You always see in movies where people like put in the fake contact or like bring up the knocked out head and open the eye. You know what I mean? But like no one ever thought, why don't I just make the system believe that I'm supposed to be in it?
That's so crazy. I didn't even think about that.
Which
yeah,
makes
it was
me
just
think,
a throwaway line.
It's here's my belief. We always like to talk about the writers on this show. I believe this is a writer from the Leverage
here we
group
go. Here we go.
Who went, you never let me use this on Leverage. You never let me do it, so I'm slipping it into Librarians.
I mean,
right?
You're allowed.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's what happened.
Not to get into predictions of any sort, but I think that Ezekiel could he's the most that's on the edge of like doing what he wants and being a librarian.
I mean, he was skateboarding on
Pyramids of Giza.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And I was like, stop.
He's a single entity in a lot lot of ways. I feel like as a power or superhero, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Absolutely. So
Powerhouse,
we're talking about at the end of the show they figure out Baird says, "Thanks for saving me, but don't make it a habit. Saving you guys is my job." And then the librarian's like, "No, the librarians are the ones who die." And maybe that's why we're chosen, because the brain grape, Stone doesn't really have family, and Ezekiel has anonymity.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which, it's all coming together. I mean, Dorian even points out, right, that he's like, they're finally making more than one librarian at a time. They finally figured it out.
Yeah, he's like, did he say, was that cute? That's cute. I think he said something.
Yeah, I think he said like adorable or something, and I was like, all right, those were more the words that I would have chose, but sure. Also, he insulted Jenkins, and I don't appreciate that. And he was very offended.
He was.
So he was just like, ouch. Like, I felt your pain. But no, I found that really interesting because I didn't really think about how expendable our librarians were until now. And
well, I feel like we've been talking about it all season.
We have talked about it, but like when he actually put like words into it, I was just kind of like, oh yeah, that kind of makes it a reality for me. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And I love that Jenkins brought up, he's like, they finally figured out what their roles are supposed to be, and now it's your turn. And I was just like,
yeah, it really was all about the feels, because he then says, after that, he says, that I suggest you do the same for the battle to come. Which
I figured that it's gonna be big.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big one, but is that meaning that some of our librarians are gonna die?
Someone brought up in the chat, they said, are they preparing us for a character death?
Yeah.
So I feel like, and I don't... All right, before I say what I want to say, because I
Yeah.
think we're almost at predictions.
Yeah.
I just want to say the other huge question of the library, because this episode was the Dorian Gray stuff and then like library stuff, which includes the clipping book didn't tell them, and they were like, why wouldn't it tell us? And at the end, another, I don't think throwaway line, I think a legit thing. The clippings book can only warn us of new threats, right? And then Baird points out that that it's just adding to the holes in our defenses list. Huge. That's not like a...
No. When I heard that line, I was sitting there going, what is actually happening in the world that we don't know about? Because that was just a happenstance. They were just walking by that club, and then they saw some magic happen, and it's killing people. And so the fact that we only know when new instances happen, I can just imagine what else is going on that we don't know about.
Yeah.
And Mir Panda says, it concerns me that Jenkins is so chill about the librarians being expendable. He always foreshadows some major oncoming dread.
I don't know. I feel like that's how Jenkins is all the time, though.
Yeah.
Well, he's super depressing.
Yeah. Yes. That's very true.
That's why I
such a
don't
big
like
daddy.
him that much.
I really love the way she said it.
Yeah, no, I just
He's just a big downer, you know?
He's a big downer.
Big downer.
Instead of big daddy, you're a big downer.
I like boats.
Every time I hear her say it, I always think of Harley Quinn, because it's just like,
It's
Mr.
similar.
J.
Have you heard Tari say Mr. J?
Yes, and it's hysterical. But I feel like because he's been alive for so long, he's seen so much death and all this stuff, he's kind of just like, eh. I'm like, stop maying. Like, that's not how this works. But he's not connected to anybody.
Because he is scared to be.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Absolutely.
I completely agree with you.
And a bunch of people are commenting about him being immortal. Someone also said in a review I saw earlier today that someone mentioned he has aged a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't think he's immortal, but I think his time
Is coming.
it's slower for some kind of magic is keeping him sustained, but I think he's so pessimistic because he's really freaking old.
So, I don't know. I would say that even though he's aged, he could still be immortal. He's just not gonna age to death. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, if you're going that way, though, like, what other way can you go?
You
if
can't
you're
go
slowly
backwards.
going up.
Yeah, but like, eventually he'll get to a point where he'll stop aging and he'll just be an old man.
Die.
Lord
I don't think he will.
mercy.
He'll be like Cess.
Oh God. Poor Seth.
I didn't know this could hurt. That's the other thing, is that although he's immortal, I think I feel like he can be killed.
Well, that's what I was gonna save it for predictions. I don't know if you. I'll wait.
All right, let's go to predictions.
Dun, dun, dun.
I threw it.
There it is.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Is it time for
predictions?
Yeah. Okay, go. 'Cause
I
we have a lot
think-
to talk about.
I think. I mean, I definitely want to talk about next episode because I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah, we'll get there.
But I think Jenkins is not gonna last through this season.
Oh.
I think that's what's happening. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. That's just my weird gut feeling telling me, because he keeps talking about the future and the inevitable big thing that's the big baddie. I don't know.
And your identity and knowing who you are.
Yeah, I feel like he's trying to get the librarians and our guardian to a point that he can leave them and he doesn't have to worry about them, even though he doesn't show that he's actually worried about them.
So what's interesting about that is when the show first started, I thought we would lose Jenkins in season 1.
Yep, same here.
And here's why. Because I thought John Larroquette, this is going to sound so silly, I thought John Larroquette was like, this is a silly show. I mean, I'll do it for a bit, but I'm not sticking around.
I was surprised that he stuck around. I was like,
seems like,
what?
I mean, he's I'm sure, I mean, I
he's
met him
a
and he's
bit-
very nice,
probably
but he
a busy
seems,
guy.
he seems like not the kind of guy, this show is too silly for me.
No, I think
he likes
he
it, but
is. I
yeah.
think he loves it. This is his jam right now. Like,
is
he is
working it.
probably so thankful. I mean, for this show and his character on it. It's an awesome. I mean, he's just feeling it.
I mean, he's played sillier things, that's for sure. He was on How to Succeed in Business Without Trying, the musical play with Daniel Radcliffe, and he was a very silly character. Not like super silly, because he played a business tyrant, and that was what he does. But he like cheats on his wife, and like he had to do
That's
these
silly?
crazy songs. No, I meant like the songs that he did and the dance moves he had to do. I felt like that's more silly than him talking about fictionals and magic. Like, so I don't know.
We got a great little comment here. It says John Rogers tweeted this about Jenkins. Jenkins ages as he burns up energy. He burned up a lot in the early 20th century.
I can see that. Poor thing, trying to keep up.
That's such a like John Rogers answer. Like, let me explain. Sure. Like, he did talk about his clubbing days. You just
He
gotta
did.
do
For all
it.
intents and purposes, our pandas could be John Rogers just here.
Just saying. He talked about what? He talked about dancing at the other club, and then he got naked on stage with what's his face, and I was
That's
just like,
where he burned up the energy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He aged
But I
like
love-
25 years in that one
I don't
night.
know if that was like his choreography or the director telling me to do this, but I love when he was talking about him getting naked, he like pushed his jacket back and like leaned back a little bit and like
I also
and I was
liked
like,
it.
stop.
I liked it a lot.
Of course you did. Get outta here.
Yeah, I feel like we're headed towards losing someone this season. That said, I also feel like we're headed towards losing someone, and we'll bring them back.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna lose anyone for good.
I don't think we're gonna lose anyone for good either. Which seems like in the next episode they're stuck in a time loop. What? The show is written by Whovians?
Oh my gosh.
What? Time travel?
Timey-wimey.
Yeah, they're in a time loop, and the trailer says run, die, repeat. Again, I think we're gonna lose someone, and I
I think there's just gonna be a lot of death in the next episode, but
right.
no one's gonna actually die.
based on, again, I'm gonna base it on leverage.
Here we go.
It's the same team, and they're brilliant.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I just
Okay.
love hearing you talk about it.
Leverage is so good. I want it back. So stop. Okay. So, there was an episode where they had the most dramatic death. I was sobbing. I know how it ends, and I still cry every time I see it. And then it was a twist, and they were dead. So that's what this show is going to do. Next episode, we are going to have a heart-wrenching death of one of our main librarians. There's 3 of them. I was going to say 4. 3 of them. It's going to be heart-wrenching. I will cry. And then they will repeat. Also, it looks like we have, like, rabid army men.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I was like, what?
I mean, I'm a fan of uniforms, so we're not... I like
This
it.
is your dream come true. Except for the death of a librarian. That is not a dream come true.
No. I'm not ready for that because I feel like a lot of TV shows go through this. Like Supernatural did that with the Trickster, and
No offense.
trust me, I know how you feel, and I'm on that panel. You should watch it. Yeah, and a lot of movies did. I know Clipped is a big movie that a lot of people were like, oh my god, and then he just wakes up. I'm sorry if I spoiled that for anybody.
Yeah.
Is it Clipped? No,
mean
Click. Sorry.
Click, the
Oh,
Adam
oh,
Sandler
I was thinking,
movie.
yeah, I was thinking of the TV show. Sorry,
Seriously.
there's a TV show called
Clipped
Clipped.
with
Yeah,
the hairdressers.
my bad. Yeah, Click.
Click with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, guys.
Whatever.
but
These
yeah.
things are old that we're talking about. You can't get mad now.
No, and yeah, like I don't mind these kind of timey-wimey kind of things.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to see how they're going to kill off our librarians and then bring them back when the time loop starts.
Which one is what I want to know, and I'm trying to figure out who it is. I don't think it's going to be Cassandra because she's the easiest one.
Yeah.
And it's like the lead, like the most
I think
obvious.
it might be Stone.
Yeah.
I think it might be Stone
I think
too.
it might be Stone.
I think it can't be Ezekiel because we haven't gotten his backstory yet.
Like not at all.
Like, so as much as we love him, we're not attached.
Nope.
That said, I feel like the next episode is going to be his episode.
yeah, I'm
Right?
fine.
We had
an itty bitty one of them with the father on the construction site.
Ooh.
yeah. We had
What?
Stone's backstory a little bit, yeah.
Jacob Gomez says, "What if all 3 die? Hence the repeat."
I mean,
Oh, so
like
like
a-
one dies once, the next time it does, someone else dies.
Yeah,
Like
so
a
like everyone gets
do-over.
everyone gets their turn. It repeats, but the last one, they all die into like the big repeat.
That's like Lost. I mean, that's just crazy.
I don't know. I'm just saying that's what I feel like it is, where they will have them all die, and it'll be something really sad, and they'll sacrifice all 4 of them technically, and then it will repeat the last time, and they're all alive, and they have to do it correctly. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like sadly the librarians are like a really bad government job, you know? that
agree.
like they don't get any credit.
Yeah.
They get the worst benefits.
I mean,
But they do it all. They do everything.
well, I love it because someone was commenting on the clip of them walking in their badass like movement towards the club,
they
and everyone
looked
was like,
so
they were
good.
looking so good. And of course, poor cat, the cat just falls over, and Stone catches it, and that whole thing. And someone was like, they shouldn't even be laughing. They have no idea. Can they sit there and take care of tentacle monsters coming out of portals? I don't think so. And I
You
was
just
like,
wanted to bring up
whoa.
the portals,
Yeah,
didn't you?
I did.
Guys, I predict we'll see more portals this season.
I hope so.
And I'm talking about the portals, not the like Satan-y death thing.
Yes, I know what you meant.
I want the portals back.
The weird, weirdly shaped portals.
The ladylike
Doors.
portals.
Lord of mercy.
Any other predictions from the chat? Because now the more we talk about the episode, I predict that we won't have any sad.
People think it's
no
going to be
medical
Stone.
insurance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boo thinks it's gonna be
And
Stone.
there's no medical insurance. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. That's why they're like, all right, next one, please.
Yeah.
We don't
Oh,
have
you
it
died.
either, so it's like we're librarians, you know?
Absolutely.
So true.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We love talking about the librarians and the image of Image. As I said, make sure you've subscribed on YouTube, on iTunes, on SoundCloud, and choose us every week, Mondays, 10 p.m. Sam, why don't you tell them where they can find you this week?
You guys can find me online at samdavidsonentertainment.com or on Twitter and Instagram at samd43.
Awesome. Alexis.
You can find me all over social media as atorres890.
Awesome. And Tari, who's not here, you can find him online and tell him to get better or we'll beat him up. At Tari J, that's TAURIJAY. I'm Yael Tygiel. You can find me online at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And online at Yael TV, YAEL.TV. We'll see you next week here, Mondays 10 for more Librarians.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.